to focus on your expectations to your needs. Hello again, everyone watching us online. Hello, the audience joined us today. So about your expectations, I can write down your expectations from today. Please start.
Maybe you could tell us what are you going to talk about, and then we can decide.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Exactly. We can ask you to tell us.
Yeah, I think that's really good question, because I came with already mindset about strategies and thought that this is obvious, but yeah, let's spend a few minutes about this. So strategies for startups. The difference between startups and enterprises, corporations, is the speed of change. Startups, they change constantly, always, and very fast. So in this environment, having a plan for more than 1 year is already something ridiculous. How can you compete in such environment? How can you focus on something, or be competitive, or conquer the market, or set the goals? How do you sell a future to investors? Like, in 5 years we will be somewhere. How do you know if you don't know what will be like in the next month or two? So this is the problem about strategies for startups. And this is the first question I'm going to answer. So what are the strategies for startups, if there are any, and how to be successful as a startup? The second part is obviously about the creative industry. So we will see how strategies related to trends, to markets, and to customers. Therefore, we will identify some trends, and based on those trends, we will try to understand how to formulate your particular strategy for your projects. I mean, in the creative industry, if you want to start some startup, you can create a strategy based on the trends. This is the second part. And I have some slides, I'll explain them, but before we go deeper, what are your expectations from strategy and trends and markets in the creative industry? Anyone? Just let's name them, say them out loud, I'll write them down.
Can it be the way how to find these trends?
Yeah, good one. How to find trends.
And also I think that the biggest question for everyone is how to get grants and money for your project in 2024.
Okay, fundraise in 2024.
Alex, since you are the only one with a mic, could you please repeat the questions for the stream?
Yeah, sure. The question is fundraise in 2024, the second one. The first one, how to find the trends, how to identify them. Any? Yeah,
so in terms of strategy, just the concept is a little bit maybe not so clear for me, because startups are very reactive entities. So we are, like, the idea of strategy seems not coherent for a startup, because of the fact that the reaction needed from startup is like always changing. And strategy, in my vision, it's more like long-term projections. And so maybe what do you mean by, in your view, what do you mean by strategy applied to startup? Because we're constantly trying things that work and doesn't work, and so we just really adapt. We're a fast-learning environment, so we just adapt from there. So how do you view this idea, this concept of strategy applied to this environment?
Mm-hmm. So if I understood you correctly, you have two questions. First one is if constant adopting by startups is a strategy, is constant change a strategy? And the second one, if not, what is strategy for startup? Yeah. So it's not only constant adaptivity, but also reactivity when startups react to stimulus. Okay, what else? Any other expectations? Maybe from the creative industry, or maybe some.
What is the time frames for strategies?
Okay, good one. Thank you.
Maybe some success stories.
Yeah, this is also very important. Time frames for strategy, success stories.
Maybe how to make a project unique, or maybe sure that it has advantages over alternative projects in the same industry, the same field.
Unique.
Idea maybe and advantages.
Yeah, unique advantages and
Over alternatives.
yeah, unique advantages and like overall uniqueness. Yeah, this I will cover this and any other maybe related to your startups or ideas. Okay, let's stick to this. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask during the presentation, and in the end we will definitely come back to these questions and we'll see if we answer them. Creative remote controller. Maybe I need some gestures. Is it switched off? Yeah, I think. Yeah, good one. So let me introduce myself. I am a former management consultant and a director for strategy in the private equity and venture capital investment fund. Also, I have entrepreneurial background. I started and exited one IT hardware reseller, founded wine tech company, and now I am due to like screening many projects. I'm starting a venture studio. Started it last year with my partners, and in venture studio we will identify perspective ideas and trends and try to build strategies and startups based on these ideas. So I have 18 years of practical experience in strategy and in entrepreneurship. Hopefully I can answer your questions and I can be helpful, but still there are of course a lot of things to learn from you as well. So if you have anything to share, I would be happy to. But let's go to some basics about the strategy and about startups. Everything starts with identifying customer needs. Of course, this is like so basic that you heard this even in school, not at the university. The main thing here I want to underline that there are very few needs people have and companies have. Like really very few. But there are a lot of products, of course, and every producer, every manufacturer or startup founder thinks that their product or their service is very much demanded. In order to confirm this, or in order to understand whether there is a real demand, it's important to focus on real needs their products are serving. So, like for example, the needs are very simple: eat, sleep, get acquainted, or be safe, or I don't know, earn money, spend some time. Very basic, very very physical or very low-level needs. Of course, there are a lot of approaches how to identify needs, Maslow pyramid or something, but even there are very few needs. So in order to in order to understand whether your product is going to be demanded or successful, you need to understand what need you are going to serve. This is important to identify your customers, your competitors. So let's maybe try some exercise. What are the needs fulfilled by Spotify, for example? What do you think? Is it spend time, definitely, listen to music, enjoy the music? What else? What needs can Spotify fulfill? Boredom, yeah, like to entertain. What else?
Probably relax or sleep.
Relax or sleep, good one. Knowledge. Podcasts, yeah.
Background for some events or something.
Background to understand, to get knowledge, to learn. What about the content creators? So it's marketplace, it's a way to earn money for them.
Time kill.
Yeah, killing time. So, for example, the sprint, I think there are some people taking part in the sprint by CreateCulture Space. So what needs does this sprint fulfill? Any ideas? So, education, yeah, getting knowledge. Networking, very important. What else?
Killing time.
Good one. So,
Maybe safety in the future.
safety in the future, getting acquainted, yeah, spending time. These are all the needs which can be covered by the program. Like there are many different examples. The point is, all the needs we pointed out can be transformed in jobs to be done. So when you start thinking about your product, about someone's product, first you need to understand what needs this product fulfills. The second, you should transform those needs into jobs to be done by customer. So when we say that, for example, content creator wants to earn money on Spotify, we say that he has a job to earn money. So he creates music and he needs to earn money, and this is his job. So in CreateCulture Space, if startup founders join to start a project and create networking, their job to be done is to establish connections to other founders and to mentors and investors, and maybe to get some knowledge. These are two jobs to be done. This is important to understand, to identify when you think about your project, about your startup idea, to identify what job you are going to do instead of customer. Because the value, we all hear a lot about value, what is the value of that project, what is the value you create to customers, what is the value, and all that thing. Interesting thing about value is that it is very subjective. It is very, very relative and changeable. There is no such, objective thing or objective measurement of value. That's why we hear it all around, and no one can properly explain what is the value. The thing is, there is no one definition of value. Value is what your customers value in your product, and the way to understand if you create any value for your customer is to understand if you do the job for the customer. So let's do it. Let's put it here and make an exercise. So there are very few needs by customers, really very few. Every need, like kill time or earn money, can be transformed into job to be done. So this is one of the approaches, one of the most practical ones. So identifying job to be done is something that you need to do, to help with your product, with your startup. And if you successfully do the job for the customer, you create value for them. They compare you to other ways to get this job done, the ways they are using right now. And if you do it 3, 4, 5, 10 times better, then you have 3, 4, 5 times better value than any alternative the customer has. These basics is important to understand competitors and markets, which we will discuss in a few minutes. But let's take maybe one example. If someone has a startup, a project, we can try to understand what needs you fulfill and what jobs you do with your product.
I think we can.
Yeah, sure.
We are going to make a local media for immigrants in Lithuania, like mostly it's Russian speakers, like from Belarus, Ukraine, Russia, and the needs of our audience is the integration into European Union government, like not government, sorry, society.
Okay.
What we can do for them is to help them to understand, like, for example, how to pay taxes, how to find some Lithuanian language courses, and I think that this mission will help us to make the job to be done for them. Like, they need have some questions about taxes, they can find it on our website, for example, in Russian language, so it's not so hard.
They need useful information and we
Provide it. So then we can identify need as need for information. Need to information about how to live in integration. So the need is integration, basically. Yeah. So, and actually integration is a little bit abstract thing because it includes few other points. So what is integration? Integration is dealing with authorities, taxes and everything. So understand the laws and rules. Integration is about having like a circle of like-minded individuals to spend time with, so making friends.
Or even community.
Community, yeah. So what else? Is it?
It's about language and culture.
Language and culture.
It's also about very practical problems, finding a doctor, reading food labels when you buy stuff from Maxima. There's a whole lot of practical, Sodra have to handle. There's a whole lot of practicality.
So it's how to organize one's life in a new place. Yeah, organize life.
It also can be about education. For example, for your kids, like if you came from another country, it's quite difficult to find school for your child.
Okay, so I think we can stop here. Maybe we can, figure out a little bit more points about integration, maybe some other needs. But what we did now, we splitted the integration abstract thing into basic needs, and at least in 5 minutes we identified 5 needs. So looks like you have at least 5 jobs to be done. This is important. We will see why it is so a little bit later. But is there one main need which you would like to help people with the most?
I think define the community.
Community. So friends and community. This is the main need you identify, and the job to be done by customer is to find friends and community, and you help to do it instead of like him searching for friends and making connections in front of some houses. You just help them to.
I think that the main idea is to help people to communicate between each other, help each other, and just increase your life level in new country, because it's quite difficult when you are alone and you have no idea what to do next.
Yeah, sure. I totally understand this point, because I think most of us here are more or less moving around countries like citizens of the world, and this is a common thing we solve coming to a next place. Yeah, this is one job to be done. And when we talk about jobs to be done, we also talk about competitors, because people fulfill this need somehow already. So what are the ways people do it right now?
Can be
With-
some group chats in social media, like, but the problem is there are a lot of them and they solve some little problem, not the general one.
So chats, local chats,
Yeah.
right? What else?
It can be some spaces like CreateCulture space.
Okay, what else?
Can be some lectures or concerts.
So when they join according to their interests and find, people, so is it cultural events?
Yeah.
Well, anything else? So friends. So we are talking about how to make friends, because the job to be done by customer is making friends. Now we discuss what are the ways to make friends for your customers without you. So what do they do without you? They go to local chats, go to CreateCulture space, to some events.
Try to find a work and then
Yeah, this is very good one. Also, get education. Universities and courses provide a lot of connections. So work and universities. Now, what we did now, I think we can stop here. So what we did now, we identified 5 competitors to you. So if you focus on one need of your customers, making friends, you automatically compete with CreateCulture space. First, let me joke about it. Finding work, finding like courses, universities, attending some events, or being active in local chats. So it doesn't mean that if you create your project, they will quit local chats, but they will be maybe less active. But at least these are your competitors. On this simple example, we can see that there is no such case when there is no competition. The worst thing investor can find, one of the worst things investor can find in startup's presentation is that there is no competition. It is so unique, so new that there is no competition. If a startup writes that there is no competition, it means 2 things. Either they are scared and don't understand what are the competitors and scared of their competitors and try to avoid this, or there is really no need for this product. Otherwise there would be some sort of maybe indirect but competitors, because local chats are indirect competitors to you.
But I have a little remark. I don't see them as competitors. I see them as also friends. Like, we can collaborate with each other and help each other. Like with our media, maybe some events can increase. Like, we can inform about them. And that's why I don't see the competition between us.
But the customer might.
Okay.
Customers, like, imagine you have 24 hours and you spend like an hour and a half here, and this event overcompeted I don't know, dinner, meeting friends, or reading book. So this event became like more valuable for you and more competitive than reading a book. So like for you personally, there is always a trade-off. Like if you think, so yeah, this is a good remark. So if you think from customer perspective, you always think from the needs perspective, from the needs. And in order to better understand their needs, you just transform them into jobs to be done. So I need to fuel my car, I need to buy food in Maxima, and I don't know, I need to give this lecture. So I have 3 jobs to be done this evening, and there is suddenly, you know, other event popping up. So if I want to join, I think I will skip the dinner or skip something else. So for me, there is competition for my time. And also, if those are paid events, paid services, then they also compete for my money, because I can spend money for fueling the car, or I can spend money for getting a taxi. So this is the basic I wanted to underline. So think from customer perspective, identify the needs, transform them into jobs to be done, and check how those jobs are done by customers already. So as we discussed now, there must be a competitor number one. There must be a preferred way to do the job which you want to fulfill for customer. So if you didn't find the competitor, it means either you didn't do your work properly, or maybe there is no need at all. So if there is no need at all, don't even try to create it. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, a lot of companies, they spend billion of investments trying to develop new markets. Even they can't do it. They closed Google, Google goggles, like eyeglasses, like with camera. They closed many things, and they wrote off those investments. They couldn't create the market. Even big corporations with huge pockets can't do this. Being a startup, never try this. Go to existing market in order to identify existing market, identify needs and jobs to be done. So, and the main thing, if you identified, for example, local chats as your main competitor, or maybe it's not your main competitor, it just can be competitor. Maybe, I don't know, universities, maybe education courses which bring people together and provide connections. Maybe this is your main competitor. Become at least 3 times better than your competitor. The key to success for a startup: focusing on one thing and being at least 3 times better in this one thing. If you sell, I don't know, the tables, make sure that they are like 5 times cheaper or 3 times lighter than other tables. You need to understand how people measure them, how they value, understand the value. And in these terms, try to be several times better than your competitor in one small thing, but be better. Then customers will switch to you in existing market. So after you identified what is your market, who are your competitors, you need to conduct some check. So for your small business, small enterprise, as an entrepreneur, you can do whatever you want, like on whatever market you chosen. But if you want to do a startup, you need to grow fast and to be able to grow to a bigger company, a bigger thing. So this means that you need a bigger market. And bigger market for startups means at least 100 million of euros or dollars, whatever. And you need to grow 3 times per year in the beginning. So every year you should be bigger 3 times. And these are minimums investors look for in startups presentations. And how you calculate the markets, how you identify the market, you check three things. First, how many clients are there? Is it like 100 furniture producers in Lithuania, or 100,000 end consumers of those tables? How difficult it is to acquire a customer? Is it like 1 minute or 1 year? Do you have a long sell cycle? And what is the average check? If your table costs 10 euros and there are only 100 clients, you can multiply one by another and you can see that there is only 1,000 euros market for this. So check what is the average sum people leaving at the places. So as we said, 100 million, and 100 million refers to serviceable and obtainable market. It is something very practical which you as a startup, as a small business, can conquer. So before we're going into calculating market size, let me explain what this all means. You usually hear a lot about potential available market, or maybe total addressable markets. Those are markets like there are, I don't know, 2 billion video game players in the world, 2 billion in the world. These are potential available markets, or maybe potential available, not 2, but maybe 4, including the ones who don't play. So 2 billion who already plays video games is total addressable market. You as a startup, if you write that you have 2 billion in the world, make no sense for investor and for yourself, because how are you going to get those customers who are in India, for example, or in Thailand? Because these 2 billion, they include people in other places as well. So you need to narrow down to served available market. So served available market means that out of those 2 billion, there are some customers served by your competitors, or served by companies, your competitors locally around you. So served available market in this case, maybe Europe, maybe Lithuania. And then you need to narrow down this to serviceable and obtainable market, the market which you as a startup can cover. So let's say we identified Lithuania as our served available market. So because companies here, they really work not only in Vilnius but in Lithuania as a whole. But you want to start with, for example, with your community, with Vilnius, or maybe not even Vilnius, but Pilaitė. Maybe you see that a lot of immigrants live there, like very compactly, and it's better for you to create community there first, and then spread to Vilnius and Kaunas and other places. So you identify whom you can reach yourself without help of investors, whatever. So this is serviceable and obtainable market, and this should be 100 million for a startup. Then how you calculate it? There are three ways to do it. You can go top down, bottom up, and by analogs. And this is quite simple. Bottom up, you calculate number of potential clients and calculate their average check, multiply. This is bottom up. Top down, if you go like this, like we did. So we go from all the customers, we narrow down by geography, and then we narrow down by value chain, by sales cycle, by different things, and you understand where you want to focus. So this is top down, and by analogs, if you have some analogs on other markets in other cities or in other countries, or maybe you have other industries with the same similar product, you can calculate what market share they have and try to understand implied to your market how much would it be. So, and then you can take average. So now, is it clear so far? So the idea is that we identified needs, jobs to be done, competitors. Now we understand our market, where we are at, how our customers spend money, whom we want to outcompete, and we calculate how big this market is. So this is the logic so far. And about strategies. So if you calculated your market, if you understood your market and your competitors, you can also check what stage, what is the stage of your market. It can be just the initial stage with unique projects and clients order tailor-made services or tailor-made products because there is no one supplying these new pieces of technology or services. Maybe there are already typical projects and they are replicating. Maybe there are standard mass market products, or maybe it is already a commodity. So let's take an example of maybe if you have any market as an idea, so let's split it across these stages. Any suggestions? I can give mine. Yeah, but maybe.
You want us to bring an example from our startup?
If you want, I can give mine, but I think it is more relevant for you to.
I don't have a startup yet, so.
What idea? So let's take AI, like ChatGPT. Where do you think it is now? This
It's unique, but it's going to move on the other side.
this here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is going from unique projects to industry solutions. So yeah, there are more and more companies, like not too many, but there are quite a few companies trying to build industry solutions. I think in a few years we'll be here. Then box standard mass product is box standard mass products in this area could be maybe not in this area, but in high tech. Let's say virtual reality. I think it is here because actually this is a good one, but virtual reality. Yeah, there are few.
Not technology. I mean the equipment.
There are few pieces of equipment were introduced recently, and I think the last one was Apple with their Apple whatever thing, and I think this is a breakthrough. I think they're still trying to build unique projects, and they don't have a lot of ecosystem right now. So I think it's right here.
Talking about GPT, it might be GPT marketplace that they recently launched for ChatGPT 4.
And they are trying to go to industry solutions. I think that on this GPT marketplace there are like thousands or maybe tens of thousands of plugins already available. So I think they are moving it to industry solution. When it will be boxed standard mass product, it will be like
Bing, maybe like Edge.
Part of your browser.
Yeah, part of your actually browser is the best example. So because before there were Opera, like Napster, whatever. Now it's only like Internet Explorer or Edge or whatever. So this is box standard mass product. And commodity, it is like the best example of commodity, like oil or gas or whatever. No name, like AliExpress, for example. So they sell a lot of commodity there. You can buy I don't know, any hardware equipment there. Like they have strange names and they cost really cheap, and producers earn nothing on them. This is commodity. So because there is no difference, and those are consumer goods, they try to brand them, but the consumer actually doesn't care because all of them they cost the same price. So you can understand where your market is. Of course, you would like to enter here, and if you are in this position, this is a challenging one. You would like to quit this market. So the strategies for different markets, they differ as well. So if there is something new, you need to look for new technologies. For example, if you want to create a chatbot, you need to look for OpenAI or such things before it became very popular. If there is already a marketplace for plugins, you look for new technologies as well, but you try to become an aggregator or supplier, as you said. So ChatGPT is introducing marketplace, because this is what you do in this stage when you have a lot of plugins. If they go further, and there are like a huge amount of those plugins on this marketplace. Let's take App Store, for example. App Store is already here. So you want to be number one. So App Store tried to protect their monopoly as long as possible. So it's the only one which can, where you need to be if you want to sell your software, or like Google with their Play Store. They don't have monopoly, but this is the only official store where you try to install your apps in order to avoid whatever they are promoting. So you want to become and to stay number one if you are here with a huge competition. If you are unlucky to be in a commodity market, you go into a niche, and you try to maybe you try to supply some additional product together with your commodity stuff, so that people pay more than just commodity price to get these extra additional value. So the best example I learned recently is about toilet paper. So toilet paper is, like how to brand it. I mean, it costs the same price everywhere. It has very few differences, maybe 3, 5, whatever layers. But if you check what consumers do, they usually don't care. Maybe white or gray, that's it. So they take whatever is available. In Spain, there was a company, a family-owned business, trying to understand how to overcompete other toilet paper producers. You know what they did? Do you know this story?
They started to make not one-time used paper, but
reusable. This would be fun, yeah. But no, they didn't go that far. Maybe we can.
But I've heard about some, I don't know, like
reusable.
Yeah, reusable.
I think sometime soon we will see that coming because of the. They didn't do that. It was something different. Any ideas? What can you do with?
They printed something.
There are like quite many toilet papers with printouts, but this might work a little bit. They went to the extreme. They made black toilet paper. So they made it black, and it became so popular. But it is premium product. They sell it like 10 or I don't know. I think it is 10 times more expensive, maybe 7 times more expensive than usual toilet paper, and they sell it black. They made very luxurious box with 3 rolls of toilet paper. They sell it in airports, in Madrid airport, and it's a premium product, and they earned huge amount of money. They took a tiny market share in toilet papers in the world, but for them it was a huge growth, and they earned a lot of profits. So they are very very lucky to find these ideas. So if you are in this market, try to go into a niche, try to do something very unique for very specific use, because they also learned that this black toilet paper isn't used daily by the customers. They usually put it into guest rooms, into guest toilets, so that they are not used often, but they really impress people, especially if you have fashionable, expensive house, and you have golden urns and everything, and you have standard white paper doesn't match. If you put black there, this is different story. So even in such cases, people use it for guests normally, because and this worked. Creating, going into niche, being specific in this niche, and trying to create a product of your own in this so-called commodity market can be a way out. or you can add some additional products. For example, you buy, I don't know, you buy a commodity from AliExpress, and you get like a lot of presents together, and because of this presents you pay bigger price, and then there is a revenue. So what is a successful product or business, a startup? It's a business which takes someone's job. If it takes a job worth 1 billion, this is a unicorn, because it takes it costs 1 billion. I mean, it is evaluated as 1 billion company because its market share, potential market share, is jobs it covers is almost 1 billion. And also, what they do, they create trends from being here with some changes in technology, so in people's behavior. They create trend towards here, like as our example with ChatGPT. So they found new technology of these transformers in AI, and then they created a trend where people joined and started using it, and therefore OpenAI is I think decacorn, or like soon it will be 100 billion euros worth. So this is what you do. You take someone's job, and you create by taking it, you create a trend. You switch people to your way of fulfilling the job they had already. I think we can come here later with your projects as well. The next thing, before we dive into creative industry trends, I wanted to highlight that if you identified jobs to be done, if you identified your competitors, if you created a product which makes the job 3-10 times better than your competitor, it doesn't mean that there will be a queue of customers trying to buy your services or trying to buy your products. So you need somehow to attract them. Attracting is also about focus. It's also about finding some channel which works for you. One channel, maximum two, which works for you, and putting all your efforts into these channels. That way, you can be successful in that channel. You can outcompete your competitors in this channel. So it is very important not to spread your efforts across many channels of distribution, across many marketing channels. It's important to focus as well. So, like, how can you know it? If you get most of your customers from one channel, most probably this channel works, and you need to focus on that. Like, if you do so, you get profits, and maybe you don't get profits. At least you have ability to invest your profits and grow and raise venture financing and grow even further. So because another thing investors look in startups presentations, in startups businesses, is unit economy. Unit economy is whether your lifetime value, like the money which your customers bring to you, covers the costs you spend to attract them. So, for example, here we decided that we go to, I don't know, to Instagram, and we try to attract people, or maybe local chats, and we need to, convince admins of those chats that they post our promotion, and for that they need some money. And you spend some money, you seed those promotions, you make guest posts or collaborations, and try to attract users, and you gathered 1,000 customers and spent 100,000 euros for that. Then you need at least 100,000 euros back from those 1,000 customers, and each of them need to spend at least 100 euros to cover your costs, plus you need profits, plus you need more investments to grow further. So if you are able to get this money back from the users you acquired, you cover your costs, customer acquisition costs, and you can grow. This is unit economy. So you calculate by unit. Startups are usually unprofitable because they grow fast. In order to check whether this is still a real business, especially in 2024, like fundraising in 2024, investors, they got back to the basics as well. So now they are very cautious about financing economically viable startups. The startups which have good unit economy, who have LTV bigger than customer acquisition cost, and that should be not 10% bigger, but several times bigger. So the bigger ratio LTV divided by customer acquisition cost, the better unit economy. Then it means that investor can invest in this business because this company, this startup, solved the problem of attracting users, attracting customers. So after you identified the product, after you made it better than your competitors, make sure that you focus on one particular marketing channel and that you are efficient in this channel. So in this sales channel, you are better than your competitors. People see you more often, and if you conduct survey, if you ask, or someone else, the third party, asks them about the product or service they use, if they name your startup, your company, the first, then it means you are in the mind of your auditors. So that's what you need to do in this channel. But in order to achieve this, being a small company, you need to focus as well. Any questions so far before we go into creative economy trends? Okay, so I think we can do simple exercise in the end to make sure that we understood that correctly, but now let's dive deeper into the creative economy. So it includes what is creative economy. It's everything which tells our stories, something what we want to share or something that other people help us to share. Films, TV, publishing, museums, music, computer programming as well, especially generative art or generative AI, crafts, architecture, design, and people who are doing this but working not in creative companies, but for corporations like marketing, content managers, marketing managers, and so on. This is a definition just to make sure what numbers we are talking about on the next slide. So according to Deloitte survey, 7% of total employment, 7% of people who are employed work in the creative economy. So it's quite a huge part of our economy. And it's going to grow. So it's going to reach almost $1 trillion in 5-7 years. And it will be about 10% of our GDP. So this creative economy, it's a huge chunk of economy. And again, this is something I would like to note as well. So we see here 1 trillion, and we see here that there are different professions, different niches and segments in this economy. And this is important to understand that this 1 trillion is potential available market. So it's the biggest market. It can be divided into your segment. If you are in architecture, then you don't need anything else. You have only this tiny share of this market. So this is how you split those numbers into your serviceable and obtainable markets, which we identified. And the recent trends usually identified in the creative industry are these 10 things. So we can go through them, or we can maybe try to try to understand the ones which we don't understand. So how you prefer. I would name them, and if you want to clarify me what it means, we can dive deeper. Or if you understand what it means, then we just skip them. Okay? So NFT technology. So this is obvious, which was a huge bubble, and I think it was good for creators, but not good for the one who tried to invest. Nevertheless, I think it will. Not only I, but also a lot of analysts think that it will come back, but in more sustainable way. From my perspective and my experience, it will be not earlier than in about 7-10 years. So before that, it will be only buzz, because there is no value for an end consumer in this NFT technology. So I own some piece of art, like encrypted with NFT. So what do I do with that? So I mean, what need does it meet? And I think before we found a more practical implication of this NFT technology, I think it will not be that sustainable. But in 5-10 years, this will be a huge thing. So if you want to develop something here, just keep this in mind. Algorithmic creativity. This is Gen AI and all that stuff. So it's not only like virtual bloggers or a content created by algorithms. It's also a way to express. It's a way for artists to express themselves. For example, help for musicians. It's some algorithmic help to create a new piece of music, a new song, or a new a piece of art. Then extended reality. This is VR and all these augmented reality, virtual reality. Data analytics. It's everywhere, because most of these trends will work based on big data, and there are a lot of industries which have data, but they didn't structure it and didn't analyze it. The ones who will help them to do so in the creative industry will earn on their products. So 3D printing is also a trend here, especially in arts and architecture and related areas. Interactive sensors. This is not that obvious, but usually it is related to extended reality. Those are sensors which capture the motion, which create 3D models and such kind of things. High-speed 5G networks, I think this is obvious, maybe even 6G or whatever. Collaboration platforms, very popular and very, famous, but they still have momentum and they will grow further. EdTech, it is the smallest trend, but still there is an opportunity to optimize advertisements. And digital rights management, I think this is the best implication of something like NFT, something like blockchain. So digital rights is a quite important thing, and it will be growing. It is already growing. Here are some examples of startups and companies exploiting those trends. We can go deeper in them if you have questions.
And you said, right, that high-speed city networks is like the journey or something like this?
High speed.
It's obvious, but obvious for me, sorry.
Yeah, so 5G is the speed of your mobile internet. It's
5G, I'm sorry, I saw it as a CG.
Yeah, sorry. So it's a speed of mobile internet. Besides our mobile phones, the most important implication for this is not the creative industry, but automotive and all the devices which we can connect to the internet, and especially movable devices. They might need like a lot of data, but automotive industry in particular is very much dependent on the speed of internet. Another implication, which is a little bit more related to the creative industry, is video gaming. So there is a technology being developed by Google, NVIDIA, and other startups. It's called edge computing. Cloud, like cloud gaming. So when you have on your like laptops or maybe even tablet PCs, you have a computer game, but you don't have powerful CPUs or GPUs. Everything is calculated on the servers, and you just get the picture. And in order to play, like quality game, you need fast connection. So because there is a huge amount of video data is being transferred both ways. So you need you need high-speed 5G, 6G, and everything. Yeah, here are the trends. Now, before we finish, let's make a small exercise. Let's try to formulate startup ideas for this segment when there is old technology or old way to satisfy need, and we need to break into this market with our new technology. We need to let's try to create an idea with new technology for old market in the creative industry. We can take your idea as an example if you have.
So holidays go on a cruise, but in VR.
Holidays in VR. So we use VR for providing this experience of traveling. Yeah, good one.
Digital pizza.
Digital pizza. This is. Could you explain, please? So.
It's a show.
Yeah, but maybe. So, what about market here, and maybe new technology, maybe an aggregator for some existing products? Do you have any examples for? Okay, just like what's the main point of this exercise, and maybe we can cut it short. So the main point is that in order to create a breakthrough idea, you should exploit one of three things, maybe three simultaneously, but at least one of three. So there should be change in the market. So either some competitors go out, or something is changing on the market. There should be change in technology. So the new technology emerged, like Gen AI or whatever. Or there should be change in behavior. So if you want to squeeze into existing market, especially here in old markets, or maybe even here, like with tourism. So it's a huge existing market with Booking, Airbnb, and a lot of big competitors. If you want to squeeze yourself into this market, you shouldn't go like Don Quixote against those windmills. You can't attack your huge competitors straight ahead. So what you need to do, you need to take a flank maneuver. You need to take a flank maneuver, and you need to exploit a change in technology which is happening. So you need to find technology which is emerging now, and you can use against these old markets. You can identify trends in changing behavior. So people stay at home, they don't go to offices. It started in COVID, and people are reluctant to return to offices now, and they want to stay there. So this is changing behavior, and old companies, old corporations, they are too big to change that quick, or maybe to pay attention to this. So you can use this behavior change, or there could be change in the market itself. So market can be, new market can be opened. Like it was the case in 90s when the Baltics in 2000s when the Baltic joined the European Union. So new big market for European goods. So there could be such things happening, or maybe there is a bankruptcy of a big competitor, and the market experiences some challenges. So you can use this momentum to go into the market. When you do so, when you identified any change, technology, market, or behavior, you should focus on this change you identified particularly. So this is your niche. This is your serviceable, obtainable market. Don't go for, I don't know, for all cruises from the beginning. Focus on the one on maybe people with limited mobility due to different reasons. So focus on them, like low mobility people, and provide them VR to travel to Venice. So they dream about Venice, but they can't do it. Focus on them and provide technology only for them. Then you can service and obtain this market. Then you can grow to other people because you have already money coming, revenue streams coming. You can raise investments, and you can invest those profits into getting bigger market share in a bigger market. So focus on the change you identified and make it your niche. This is the main way to beat the competition, even if the competitors are Google, Amazon, whatever. So there is a famous saying, famous aphorism, too small. So let me recall it. Yeah, I forgot, but the idea is that initially the market can be too small for big corporation, but when you grow, it will be too late for them to enter. For big corporations, you can sell your company to them, exit, or you can become corporation yourself. So before it is too big or too late, identify this niche, focus on it, obtain your market niche, your place there, and then start to grow. So coming back to your question, so how to find the trends? 3 changes. Look for 3 changes. What is always, every year, every month, every decade, there are changes in technology. To summarize strategy for startups, I can give as an example the quote from Jeff Bezos, Amazon's founder. So Jeff Bezos focuses not on what is going to change, but he focuses on what will not change. And this is the strategy for startups. There will be a lot of things changing all the times. So I mean constantly, as we said, and there will be a lot of other founders, very smart, maybe with more money, maybe with, I don't know, better products, trying to enter your market, trying to use these changes. And in order to like maintain, in order to achieve success and maintain your growth, you shouldn't react on those changes. You shouldn't react on those new incumbents or competitors or whatever. You should focus on what is the most important in this market, most important for your customers, and which is most probably will not change in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years. Needs. So focus on the needs, understand what jobs to be done, understand how you are delivering better value than other competitors, like 3-10 times, and just do that constantly. Try to be better in this particular, fulfilling this particular need and doing that particular job for the customer. this is Jeff Bezos' strategy, and we see he's really successful with his Amazon. And whenever people or executives come to him and ask for advice or warn about some threats and some new technologies, new challenges coming, his first, like, this is exaggeration, but he usually focuses and asks if this is going to change, that people are willing to get goods fast and cheap. No, if they are not going to ask for more expensive goods, or like to ask Amazon to deliver them a little bit slower, not that fast, if it's not going to happen, then they are doing all right. So if they are focusing on creating value in delivering goods fast and cheap, then they are all right. If they can do it, if they can maintain this part of their business, they are safe. So this is the strategy to identify this focus, which is not going to change, related to needs usually, and find the ways to fulfill this need. In order to find this way, you can change 10 business models. You can like pivot. You can like change the team. You can change the market. You can like create several products. So these are changes. The question why you are doing this? In order to fulfill certain needs, in order to do some job better than your competitor, like ultimately you will achieve this. The more you do this, the more you learn about the market, about what is important for your clients, the better you become, and ultimately, if you're persistent enough, you will be successful and you'll achieve this success. But you need this focus, and this focus should be long term. It shouldn't change with time. This is actually the basic strategy for startups. You can hear this in many presentations, especially investors. They ask you about this, or they tell you about this. Do you have the focus? So what are you focusing on? Know that this question is related to your fundamental strategy. Do you have this strategy? Do you understand what you are doing? Do you understand whom you are serving and what needs you are fulfilling? If you understand this, then most probably you have the focus and you know what is important to fulfill, to achieve this, and what is not. Then, so constant adaptation is just the way to implement the strategy. It's like your plan. The strategy is to meet the needs you identified. Then time frames for strategy. Usually, typically, it is 10 years. Typical for startup, it can be 5 years. And if you, how do I come up with such numbers? You can check typical vesting agreements between founders, and they usually for 5 years. So even in Startup Lithuania, I think they have it on their website, some templates for startups, and there is a vesting and employee option agreements, and they are usually for like employee option agreements maybe for a shorter period of time, but for founders it is 5 years. So it is the period you usually need to achieve some success. And in order to achieve success, you need to focus, and your focus shouldn't change for at least 5 years. If you have strategy for 10 years, you can call it a mission. Investors love to hear about startups' mission, but you need to prove that it is a real mission, not just advertisement. And you can prove it by breaking down this mission and explaining that in 10 years, in 20 years, it is not going to change. So it will be still there, and the world will be as you expect it to be. You understand it, and your mission is to build the best product for this new world. So if you can explain this, break down to details, investors will love it, because most probably you know what you're doing and you have a long-term focus. So they like focus because this is it means that you have strategy. Success stories. I told about Jeff Bezos and his strategy. We discussed black toilet paper. Maybe, yeah, we discussed OpenAI ChatGPT. Is there any interesting success story, especially in maybe creative industry? Let me think. In the creative industry, two main patterns I can provide. One is those digital tools for creators like Figma, like Miro, and even Zoom. When you have your calls, it's not that creative industry, but still falls into this pattern. They all started and they all identified technology change 10 years ago or even more. So it was 2010, more or less 2010, when they all started. And it took them 7, 8, sometimes 10 years before they took off. So they really spent 5, 7 years building, developing, and trying to find this product market fit or find this find their place in the market. And only when behavior changed due to COVID, then it exploded. So it exploded. Everyone realized that this is the future, and everyone rushed into internet for these tools. And if you are a startup during COVID times, you realize that everyone is going to internet, and everyone needs another Zoom. You are already late, because they need it working now. So the one who benefited, the companies who realized this technology change before and started to develop their tools before this happened, because they anticipated this technology will be demanded. There will be something else which will move all the people towards them.
I have a question about this case. Like, I understand why Figma is working so good, but at the same time, I can't understand why Zoom become popular, but not the Skype, for example. Like, they have almost the same product, but for some reason, everybody prefers Zoom. Why?
Why don't you use Nokia now?
Once again?
Nokia.
I don't have it on the store anymore.
Yeah, because both Skype and Nokia were bought by Microsoft, and the corporations, they tend to buy startups and kill them because they are corporations, so they are not that flexible.
They deal with Microsoft?
It's not like Microsoft in particular, but this is example how corporations, like big corporations, they're too big and too slow to react and to adopt. Nokia became really a behemoth. It like missed the opportunity about smartphones. Then it was sold to Microsoft. Microsoft missed the opportunity with smartphones as well. And I think it is the biggest problem Microsoft had. And even Bill Gates admitted that it is because of him mainly they didn't go into smartphones. So two losers merged, and Nokia is not in the market anymore. But with Skype it is the same. So do you use Teams?
Steam?
Teams.
Teams?
Microsoft Teams.
No, actually.
I think it has some technologies from Skype, maybe not original because they are very old, but Skype helped Microsoft to develop Teams. But Teams is, even Zoom, is really, very slow, and it's slowing down computers. There are better alternatives. But it wasn't the problem with technology. It was the problem with who owns the technology and who drives, who tries to get the most of the changes happening. So it's like a matter of corporations. If Skype would be Estonian or like whatever international and sort of startup, they might use the opportunity to, regain market share, to become like again number one. Instead of Zoom, it would be Skype again. But yeah, it's not about startups. It's about corporations, rather about corporations. So this is also OnlyFans, like this platform for these videos. So it's sort of creative economy, but in the gray shadowy part of the economy. They also took off during COVID times, and they gained a lot of consumers and paying customers during COVID times. Before they struggled. The idea is that if you see the technology which is going to change your market, and if you focus on it, most probably you will be the most prepared for upcoming changes. That's what you need to do.
Okay, another one question: why OnlyFans but not Patreon? Like, why this one is working, Patreon didn't work in that time?
Yeah,
Because as I know, they also have like this kind of laws that we can add mute for the session there or something like this. I didn't figure it, like they really have it, but at least I know that some artists are selling on the Patreon like naked version of their art.
So actually, good question, and I think there are two answers. One is philosophical. We are not going to go deep into this. Philosophical is that this adult industry was the driver of changes. I think at least starting from the 19th century. Photography developed because people would pay premiums to get nude photos in the 19th century. So we have developed photography, not because it was so nice to have photographies, but there were people who were paying to get this. Same with video, same with DVD and all this. The main driver of these technologies were adults industry. So this is philosophical part. More related to us, I think it is market part. So if we calculate market share of adult industry, I think it could be, not in these terms, not in terms of tons, but I want to use circles, the area of circles. So adult industry could be like green circle or even the biggest one. And, Patreon is usually for people who consume sort of, to some extent, intellectual content. There are definitely people who consume intellectual content, and people similar to them, maybe not always intellectual, but some reading, something interesting, something out of the box. And this market, I think, it is much smaller. And if the market is much smaller, it means that you don't hear about Patreon because it doesn't have revenues like OnlyFans, and revenues are derivatives of the market size. So selecting the market is very important, very crucial. So that's why investors, they look for 100 million markets, because if it grows, like one of famous, very experienced investors said, even turkeys can fly in the high wind. So if it is a high wind, even a turkey can fly. So if market grows, then even a startup with their so-so product, they will gain some investments, like happened in 2021.
Yeah, but about OnlyFans, as I know, they didn't create a platform for nudity photos. In the beginning, it was something like a Patreon. There was some cookers who were sharing their recipes. There was some artists, but then for some reason it's just converted to the.
They found bigger markets. They found so that's why it is important. So if you do, you are an entrepreneur and you want to to sell cakes made by yourself, then you are okay with whatever you have. But if you do it if you try to grow fast, if you want to become bigger, you need to go for bigger markets. So if you have like slow growth with your like cooking recipes and everything, you change the market and then wow, it's going up like crazy. As we said, 3 times every year. Then like I'll do this. I have technology for this. So I found better markets with more people and where there is bigger behavioral change. So I'll focus on it. That's about OnlyFans. And yeah, this is maybe another example of success stories. If you focus on the changes, if you start developing your startup, be persistent, and then these changes will pay you back. So unique advantages and uniqueness, how to find unique advantages. As we said, we identify the needs, we identify jobs to be done, we identify the competitors, and we try to focus on one need, one job to be done, and be at least 3 times better than competitors. It's better to be like 10 times. 10 times it's killer value. So if you are 10 times better, most probably you won't need spending on marketing, because there will be word of mouth spreading about how good your product is. So it's 10 times better, and people will bring their friends and acquaintances to you. So uniqueness, it's not about something you create because you understand or you feel or you think it can be unique. Uniqueness is always in the eyes of consumers. It's always compared to where they spend their time or money right now. So if I go to CreateCulture space, most probably I get more value, then it has more uniqueness than, for example, I don't know, TV show on the TV, because it is every day there, and this one is once in a while such event. Then this is uniqueness. So I have the need, and I have only one opportunity to attend the masterclass about strategies. So I have this need, and this fulfills my need better than any TV session, and maybe even YouTube, because on YouTube there are a lot of videos. But the best thing is to come in person, and like for offline meeting, because we can ask questions, we can change the course of our conversation, and this provides 10 times, for example, I don't know, maybe for some people 5 times, 20 times better experience than for YouTube videos, for example. This is uniqueness. And if you check the auditory, and auditory come because it is offline, they can ask questions and they can interact. This is your uniqueness. That's why people come here. This is unique. That's what people don't get in other places from other competitors. So you don't invent it. You just go and ask. This is why actually we had discussion with one of the groups on Monday about the goals of this sprint in CreateCulture space. So actually there are only two goals for this sprint, and actually for any startup. First, customer development. Go to customers, ask them, conduct interviews, and try to understand what they say. Second, try to prototype what you understand in the form of simple product, just how you understand it, like landing page without functionality, but imitating that you have the product. Try to prototype it, then go back to your customers and check if you understand them correctly, if they want to use this prototype, if they show the signs that it, meets their expectations and their needs. If don't understand what's wrong, what they need else, go back, change, and go to customers. These two things: customer development, prototyping. Forth and back. Once you found, you received great responses from the most of people you talked to. This is it. This is your problem solution fit. This is where you can start spending money on building a product, like investing in development and everything. When you understood your customers completely, and when you can show them some prototype, some simulation of what product will be. So back and forth until you get this, wow effect from most of people you speak to. And for that, you need just Tilde or like whatever no-code instrument. Just, make it easy. Telegram channel. If you want a community, don't create a website with a lot of functions. Telegram channel and try to promote it. And if you see that it's growing like hell, people are joining because you do something what they need, this is it. Then you can switch this from Telegram to your platform, because you started to gain customers because you offer what they need. These two things. And uniqueness you find from customer interviews, never from your head. I mean, of course, we all are human, but these are called biases. And just one last wisdom, not to bore you anymore, and we'll go to conclusions. The difference between small and medium entrepreneur and startup founder is the difference between small and medium enterprise and startup is the speed of your growth, how fast you grow. If you grow 3 times, then you are a startup. You found some business model which is scalable. And startup is temporary organization to find scalable business model. So how fast you grow differentiates small and medium enterprises from startups. Entrepreneurs and startup founders are differentiated by how conscious and how critical thinker you are. So the main thing to grow fast is to fight your own biases, is to question all your knowledge, all you do, and not rely on our hallucinations. The critical thing is to question all of it using critical thinking and checking with customers, with mentors, with investors. So if you are able to consciously fight your biases and try to get as objective picture as you can, most probably you will see the patterns, you will see the trends, you will see the changes, you will see where to focus, and you will see how to fulfill people's needs, not your own needs and your own hallucinations. So grow fast, then you are a startup. Be conscious and fight your biases. Then you are a perfect startup founder. This is it. And the last thing is this one. Keep it simple. Focus. Focus on one job, one need. Focus on one product, one price. Don't create big selection of anything. One client type, one sales channel. Create one product out of all of this with one button, one function. But this function should be 3-10 times better than your competitors. So this is it. Thank you very much. So if you want to connect, please welcome LinkedIn, and I write occasionally on Telegram as well. And if you have questions, fundraising 2024, I'll answer right now. And if you have any other questions, I would be happy to help.
We actually have one question from our online audience. So the question is, how to earn an augmented reality cultural startup? They also has written the context, what their startup does. I can read it loud if you want.
So augmented reality.
Augmented
how to earn? How to
How
earn?
to earn on augmented reality cultural startup.
What do you mean cultural startup? Is that it? No explanation.
There is, yeah. So the startup creates 3D models of historical monuments in augmented reality for use in educational, cultural, and entertainment contexts.
Okay.
We use historical research and 3D modeling software to create accurate and realistic replicas of the monuments, which are then integrated into an augmented reality application for an immersive and interactive user experience.
My first question would be, what is the need? So who needs this? And why they need it? But let's assume, because I think they might be not online, but they need an answer. So what is the need? What might be the need to seeing 3D cultural models online? Who is going to need this? Two options. Some entities like architects or city planning authorities, they might need it for some reasons, I don't know. Another is you can use it for some virtual reality, whatever. For example, there is a video game called, what is it? Assassin's Creed, yeah. And yeah, they have copies of Notre Dame and all that stuff. They can sell it to them. So if, or they can sell it to Hollywood movies, because Hollywood is mainly made in studios now. And for example, if they if they want to blow up Vilnius, they can blow up 3D Vilnius, not like actual Vilnius. It will be cheaper for them. So yeah, I think this Hollywood movies, computer games is interesting for B2C customers and B2C clients. I'm not sure that, so consumers would be people who can't go and see those beauties themselves, like people who have limited mobility. In that case, most probably you would try not to charge them, because I know they are usually limited in many ways. But there are governments who subsidize and pay for them, so you can create some educational thing for such low mobile people, and make cities and make governments pay for them. So, but it's rather hard because it includes several stakeholders. I would go for Hollywood movies, and that's it. Yeah. So if they create 3D model of Vilnius, I think there will be quite a few production studios willing to buy it for their games and for whatever, because it's already made. Yeah. So yeah, like fundraising, show that you have business, not just a fancy idea which you can discuss with smoothie and all that stuff. This is a joke, because previously startup founders they tend to be to be those hipsters with smoothies and everything, who are not making business but trying to entertain themselves. Now investors are back to normality, and normality is, where is my money? Like, where is the business? So I give you like 500,000 for what? For you like spending the best time of your life, or for you bringing 10 times more to me? How are you going to bring it? Do you have a business there? Do you have a growing customer base? Do you have a proper unit economy? Do you know what market you are in? Do you know what's your focus? So all those questions are answered by unit economy. If you have a good unit economy, so huge LTV, low customer acquisition costs, you're all right.
Okay, another one question in this case. If they have some social project, like it doesn't mean that it's supposed to bring a lot of money. What we supposed to do in this case?
But are you going to get a lot of users?
Okay.
If you have a lot of users, you can sell it to, I don't know, to authorities, to non-commercial foundations or such organizations. So your equity, your asset is your customer base. So you sell your customer base basically. So it's not good, like especially if you do a social project, but investors are very pragmatic and people. So
So there are only two values for investors: it's money and it's
and money.
Oh, money and money. Okay,
So,
got it.
I mean, like investors, they invest their money. Different investors look for different things, and they have different strategies. Some tend to back very strange and non-ordinary founders, very unique founders. So, and this is what they think will be the best outcome from their investments. But it's not only about money, of course. It's about people who can, get more money back than themselves, than the investors. And some people, like investors, they prefer such type of people. Others, they prefer very understandable, very easy businesses. Others, something different. But it's, in the end of the day, it's all about money. It's if you can explain where is the money, you can find investor. If it's social project, your money is in your customer base. Then find the ones who need this customer base.
You also mentioned that you used to work in consultancy. So do you do any mentorship or something like that?
Mentorship.
Yeah.
During my consulting times, I did, and I have a few startups which I mentor, but I can't say that I do it en masse. So it's not my main occupation, but nevertheless, I'm open if someone needs my help and I can be helpful. We can discuss. So the main point is to be valuable, to be of real help, not just to sit and imitate the role of someone wise. But if I see that there is an idea in the company and the founder is really persistent and perspective from my point of view, then I can invest my time in helping them. So yeah, I'm open to such opportunities.
Okay. So in this matter, we can contact you.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. So did I answer all your questions? Yeah. Any else, or is it enough for today? Yeah. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have such engaged audience and to interact with you, and you helped answer my questions, and I hope I answered your questions. And if you need anything else, please keep in touch, and good luck with your projects.